UK is beautiful. It's green, I'm mostly fluent in British, but I'm comfortable here. I need an adventure to challenge me, to make me grow, to make me experience a new part of the world and explore something I've never seen before. I need an adventure to a new place. And you know what? We're going together. I don't know where that is though. So, let's ask Google. Google. I brought my computer out in this trusty forest. Where should I go to push my limits, grow myself, and show me a new part of the world and experience a new culture? Go. Google knows everything about me, so it's gotta recommend something good, right? Wadi Rum? Okay, well, Google never lies, so let's get there. Wadi Rum is located in the south of Jordan. It is a full desert area full of sandstone and granite rock formations. Wadi Rum is approximately 720 square kilometers. This is the size of Singapore. It's pretty big. Home to one of the oldest human civilizations, Wadi Rum has housed the first Nabateans and then the Bedouin families for over 12,000 years. Historically, it was on the Incense Road, as it connected the Arabian Peninsula to the Mediterranean. The Incense Road predated the Silk Road, as frankincense was a key ingredient to numerous religious ceremonies. Just as someone living in New York City can easily navigate around the twists and turns of endless alleyways and roads, the Bedouins navigate the desert. Between the position of the sun, shadows, rock stars, and wind, they have a heavily respected and deep knowledge of the desert and survival techniques. It wasn't until World War I did Wadi Rum get Western fame. A couple of months ago, we learned about the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire, but from the European side. As a refresher, the people in Europe were sick of being ruled by the Ottomans. The Ottomans didn't belong there and needed to go back to their land. So, the Balkan nations, allied together, pushed the Ottomans back to their designated boundaries in what we know today as Turkey. At the same time, in the early 1900s, in the Middle East, an academic from Wales named Thomas Edward Lawrence was doing some archaeology work in the Middle East. Having gained heavy appreciation for the purity of the Arabic cultures he was studying, T.E. Lawrence quickly allied with the Arab forces and worked with the team leading the Arab Revolt. The Arab Revolt also was pushing the Ottomans out of the Arabian Peninsula and back into Turkey. Along with other leaders, Lawrence of Arabia spent most of his time in Wadi Rum, a place that would swallow any Westerner without proper Bedouin knowledge to stay alive. Being fluent in both Arabic and English, Lawrence of Arabia worked hard in the negotiations with the Western world and helped to give the Arab states back to their national lines. Today, while Lawrence of Arabia is highly respected in the area as an icon both of Arabia and Wadi Rum, the Western world criticizes him for the non-Western views he took towards his Arabia-biased negotiations that he led in World War I. Having been exposed to nomadic desert culture myself, I wish that he would have been more successful in some of the things he was bargaining for. I mean, just look at this place. Throughout Wadi Rum, dozens of tourist bubbles are set up, offering Western tourists bougie living. If you want to stay in a bubble tent with modern Western amenities, I'd recommend Burning Man. This event was built and catered for such a culture, not the pure desert of Arabia or the Sahara. Rant over! If you allow yourself to be fully immersed into the culture of a region, it changes you. A while ago, I lived with a group of Bedouins and Berbers in the desert for about a month. During this time, I didn't have cell signal, but I learned a lot about myself and a lot about the desert lifestyle. Modern amenities are nice, but they take away from the beauty and pureness in life, especially in the desert. There is no better pleasure than wandering through the desert and scouring for brushwood throughout the daytime hours, making camp, taking a little rest, and then cooking for the evening hours and watching the stars rise and talking about stories and really nothing. In recent times, Wadi Rum has been the filming site for many famous Hollywood blockbusters, such as The Martian, Rogue One, Transformers, Red Planet, and more were all filmed here. While I think it's amazing producers are able to show some of the lesser traveled parts of the world to people, these Hollywood productions weren't the nicest to the desert. So UNESCO had to step in and save the day. And I talk about UNESCO so much that I'm going to do a full video on UNESCO sometime in the future. I don't like that UNESCO only jumps in when the Western world starts to trash such precious gems tucked away and preserved for centuries. But on the other hand, I'm really glad that this organization exists to set standards and rules in places. I mean, it'd suck if UNESCO had to come in and tell tourists in London to stop coming because they were trashing the city. Wadi Rum is the home to a people that have been around longer than many other cultures. The home of a culture that is foreign to many of us. The home of those who don't need to Google to tell them what the weather will be in a week, or GPS to know what direction the sea is in when it's pitch black outside. Today in Wadi Rum, the Bedouins run the majority of the businesses, and they should, since I'd rather be with no one else than a local in their region. Having tea with a group of Bedouins and talking about nothing, yet everything all at the same time is an unforgettable experience. And I'm here to give you some tips while we also look at some of the desert surroundings. 1. Be prepared to speak languages. The Bedouin culture is built around bartering and trading. Today, that's evolved into hustling, and nearly in every group, there will be at least one person who knows at least 10 languages, as tourism is a part of their monetary income. So be prepared to practice a variety of languages that you know with them, even if it's just a little bit. Talk with them. Bedouin culture is very social and centered around storytelling and sharing. While I was hanging out with my Wadi Rum Bedouin homies, so many people I saw avoided having a conversation with them. And it's just being odd, being in the home of someone and not even looking at them or saying hi. Don't be a dick. Say hi. Tell them a story from where you are. 3. Drink the tea. Yes, it's hot tea, even when it's 50 degrees outside, and it's part of nomadic life. And I can't explain it, but after you try it once, there's nothing better than looking forward to that spicy, delightful mix when you're offered a cup. I notice many Westerners saying no, which is really just strange when you're being offered something free and local for nothing in return. 4. Wear the hat. Western hats and buffs have their place, like in hiking and in the Western world. But when you're in the desert, the head wrap and scarf do more than just look cool. It keeps the sand from coming into your hair and out of your mouth, and that's nice. 5. Slow down. Be chill. Desert life is slow, but efficient. There's a time for everything, and it's time now for me to say goodbye for this entry in my Jordan Diaries. Thanks for watching. Bye.